what's going on, guys? Brian Johns here. Thought I would talk to you guys about a topic that I'm personally very passionate about, which is wolves. I've done, if you followed any of my social media, I've done quite a bit of wolf photography over the years in Yellowstone, Grand Teton National Park, Wyoming, places like that. And it's pretty natural that pretty much whenever I post videos of wolves online that I have photographed, there just tends to be swarms of hunters that just want to come to the posts. A lot of the times it just starts off with just a simple like bang bang comment like, oh, that wolf needs to die, kill all the wolves, blah blah blah, stuff like that. But then a lot of the times it can also get quite a bit more intense than that, and conversation goes back and forth, blah blah blah, and the hunters just want to essentially prove that they are so necessary for conservation. And then one of the big things is that they pretty much just always claim that the wolves are responsible for the destruction of the ecosystem, things of that nature. One point that I wanted to discuss today, and I just decided that maybe I would start getting more vocal on YouTube about my views in regards to the wolves, because I do have views that I think need to be heard, is the one point that they always bring to my channels, whether I post to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. One specific point is that the wolves are responsible for the destruction or the imbalance of the ungulates. So in particular, the elk herds. And I wanted to talk about that and just how messed up that view really is. So here's the thing. I'm sure a lot of people, if they were really to do the research into the history books, would probably come to the realization that the wolves were decimated from America. They were brutally killed by all of the hunters and the settlers, and basically just completely taken off of the map. And then I think it was 1993, wolves were reintroduced, Canadian gray wolves, reintroduced back into northern Yellowstone National Park. So that's obviously just a little history point if you didn't know that. But now they have made somewhat of a comeback, and they've repopulated into other areas, especially around Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana, and even a few other areas as well. And the hunters are always claiming, on my posts and just anywhere online, they're always claiming that the wolves are responsible for the imbalances of the ungulate herds. So right now, that's their claim, right? Or at least one of their claims. They claim a lot of stuff. But one of their big claims is that the hunters need to cull or kill the wolf populations because the wolves are causing imbalances in the ungulate herds. And I want to give you guys some things to think about. So the hunters, or the settlers, the original people that killed all of the wolves, they killed them off, right? Now the wolves were there originally, certainly long before humans were ever there, and they controlled the populations of the ungulates. And I think it's pretty obvious to anyone who does a realistic study into the history that the wolves and the ungulates, the elk, all of those animals were there before any of the people. So obviously the ecosystem would have been balanced in a natural and more effective way before the humans ever got there. Now obviously we have humans here now, so of course things can't be exactly the way they were before humans ever got there, and obviously even I recognize that as someone who vocally supports wolf conservation. However, as I was just discussing, the wolves and other predators, it's not just the wolves, but mountain lions, grizzly bears, but especially wolves, because wolves, one of their primary food items, of course, prey species, is the elk herds, the ungulates that the hunters keep talking about in my posts. The wolves were there to originally prey on these species, and they were the ones that would balance those herds. The whole reason, honestly, that hunters, like human hunters, are needed, or were needed, certainly, were because the wolves were killed off. The predators were killed off, right? I mean, these things make sense, right? So now there's no predators, so now we need human hunters. And through that process, okay, through that process of the wolves were not there, so now we need to create balance again in the ecosystem. So yes, of course, the sport of hunting is developed. And obviously there's thousands and thousands of people who participate in that sport, and they enjoy that sport, and so forth. And I could go into many other videos of discussions into my views about hunting, and that would be way outside the scope of this video. But for the purpose of this video, let's just say that the sport of hunting was developed, and a lot of it would have been developed, certainly, because of the need to create balance in the ecosystem. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. But here's the thing. That balance was only needed to be developed because we killed the predators. So all these hunters that are like, we need more hunters because we balance the ecosystem, that's only because you guys killed the predators. So now we've reintroduced the predators back into certain aspects of the ecosystem, like in Wyoming and Montana, and now the hunters are so vocal that the wolves are now creating this imbalance. Yes, of course, but it's not their fault. They were there to create the balance to begin with. And now because there's this huge sport that all these hunters, and in my opinion, narcissists, really, a lot of them, maybe not all of them, but quite a few of them, they enjoy killing, and they want to continue to do that. So now they're just gonna blame the wolves for creating an imbalance. The humans are the ones that created the imbalance, not the wolves. So now because we've reintroduced the wolves, the hunters are going to continue to tell everybody that the wolves are the ones creating the imbalance. That's just simply not true. If we were to get rid of the human hunters in those regions where the wolves are now populated back, we would probably get closer to a balance. But that's obviously not going to happen because the hunters like their sport, and they're going to continue to want to do what they do, which quite frankly they like to kill. But anyways, there's a lot of other videos that I could put out about my views about hunters and different things, but I just wanted to make that one point, that they keep talking on social media about how the wolves are creating this imbalance with the ungulates, and that's backwards because they killed the wolves to begin with, and now we've reintroduced them back. So we don't need the hunters. So we should really just get rid of hunting in those regions, or at least for the most part, especially if the wolves are there, and there wouldn't be that imbalance that they keep claiming. So anyways, if you guys want to hear more of these topics, they might be controversial, can talk about some provocative kind of topics, and especially with the wolf situations and the wolf conservation, then please subscribe, hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications, and I'm going to be putting out more of my views and more, definitely more topics that I think are going to be engaging. So please subscribe to me here, and let me know what you think. All right, thanks so much.